Welcome to the UW Now live stream. Tonight we're discussing the cost of American isolationism with two UW experts from the departments of Economics and Political Science. Assistant Professor Lydia Cox is an economist and an expert on international trade. And Professor John Peebyhouse will share his expertise in American foreign policy. Our conversation will be moderated by your host, Mike Knetter.
Good evening, I'm Mike Knetter, and welcome to the UW Now live stream. We've got an awesome show tonight. We're very excited to have our first guest, Morgan Sachs.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for having me tonight.
So I guess, Morgan, without further ado, I can hand it off to you to take it away with your presentation.
Excellent. Thanks, Mike. Well, tonight I'm going to be talking about cheddar, an unconventional architectural material here in Wisconsin. I personally think this is the new frontier, but we'll have to see what you think after I present a couple of slides. So let's get started here. So cheese with ease. Why are we talking about building with cheddar? Cheddar is a material Wisconsin produces in spades, so why not take advantage of it? It's unique, sustainable, and delicious. So let's talk a little bit more about this interesting building material. Now, of course, we can't keep this conversation moving without highlighting some of the drawbacks. So structural integrity, weather resistance, and rodent proofing are some of the most common criticisms, but we'll get into how we can address those this evening. All right, so you're first going to want to start out with choosing the right cheddar. What we've learned through extensive development is aged versus fresh is the right question to ask. So our aged cheddar materials are going to be more dense and durable, where our fresh cheddar is too soft and much more prone to melting. So we have concluded this is the best cheddar for construction when we're talking about extra sharp cheddar or a UW-Madison specific developed cheddar infused concrete, which we are calling Cheesecrete. So getting into our particular material here, we've got a little bit of a formula map here in the background, and you can see that this is the key to success on our structural compounds here on the right. So this is very exciting for the UW-Madison community. So as we start talking about some of our structural considerations, we'll talk about shape and structure, dome or an A-frame, and what we're learning is reinforced cheddar beams for stability are really the way to go. We've got a layering technique where we're learning that compressed cheddar blocks form that really solid foundation. And then the key here is the cheese mortar with melted and re-solidified cheddar. Now, some of you guys might be wondering about our roofing and insulation, but we have found that a blend cheddar with wax for waterproofing is really the key to success, along with an additional layer of Parmesan for hardness on the top of the roof. Now, some of these other strategies that we have reflect wind resistance techniques. So we're talking about aerodynamic design, rounded edges like a big wheel of Gouda is the way to go here. We've got some ideas about rebar and pretzel rods within that cheddar foundation. And then these sealants and coatings are going to be really important where we borrow some strategies from beeswax and butter for weatherproofing. Now, some of you guys might be wondering about preventing melting and decay, of course, with a cheddar product. So we've got some strategies here on temperature control and most importantly, pest and rodent prevention, which we'll talk about natural deterrents like pepper infused cheddar and even sealing these cheese bricks for success. So now we've got a little bit of data here for you. You can see that there's been a lot of study on these particular building materials, but this is really our opportunity to leverage cheddar moving forward. As you can see kind of on the center here, there's a thick blue line that starts to emerge in an upward trend, and we're really excited about this momentum moving forward. Excellent. So hopefully you can all join with me in wondering what's on the horizon. Cottage cheese cottage. And then as we move into our conclusion for this evening, this is just as good of an idea as you think it is. I'll be happy to take your questions.
Great. Thank you so much, Morgan.
Nice job, Melissa.
Yeah, that was a great presentation. Now, from here on out, it's pretty simple because it's the Q&A. So let's bring on Joe. Hi, Joe.
Greetings.
All right.
What's your best non-Italian entree topping cheese?
So you're taking Parmesan out of things. I'd say, you know, if we want to get really weird, I think Swiss is just a left field wild card for entree topping. So give it a try.
Well, thank you both so much for that awesome Q&A. I'm going to close here with a couple thoughts of my own. So I guess if it's just me, I'd have to say, and normally in our presentation that we would have a card that says the date of the next episode. And right here is where we would just bring that on the screen if we had it, just like that. And then I leave that on the screen until it sounds like Mike is done talking about the next episode, because he's about to say, well, again, thank you so much. And then he says, we don't actually use this one. We just go full on mic. We just have this as like a safety thing. So we just bring up Mike full screens because he's going to do this on Wisconsin. And then you hit end stream.